The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the 27th day of March 2025. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. How's everybody doing today? Thursday, or as some folks refer to it as, it is Friday, Junior. We are almost there, folks. We're almost there. How's everyone doing? How are you feeling? Are you good? Are you feeling, like we got this? How's it going? Are we good? Are you happy to be here? Are you breathing? Are you smiling? What's going on? Let me know what is going on. We've got Kenton Trot says, thankful Thursday, my TDH fam. Indeed, it is a thankful Thursday. We've got Suzanne Ingham says, awesome, thriving Thursday, Jamal and Maya. I love this. Thankful. We're thriving. What else? What else? Give it to us. Give it to us. I'm happy to be here, folks. I'm always happy to be here with you all. I really am. Suzanne says, it's going, Jamal. It's going. Yep, it's going. And sometimes you just got to let it flow and go with it, right? But I'm happy to be here with you once again. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Bermuda Cancer and Health Center's Azuree Williams on. We're going to be discussing the Relay for Life, this year's Relay for Life. So, man, Relay for Life, Bermuda Cancer and Health, always a heavy conversation for me. As it probably is for many Bermudians, just over the last few days, learning of family and friends who are actually dealing with cancer. So looking forward to the conversation for nothing else but to really learn about how we can help with this epidemic in Bermuda. The Daily Play is a Name That Place today. Yep, Thursday is a Name That Place. So don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. Well, let's get into today's discussion. The question, I'm just going to throw it out there, is going to be, how can we improve the engagement between lawmakers and the general public? How can we improve the engagement between lawmakers and the general public? And the daily discussion is brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure Trucking.
The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
All righty. Thanks again to Titan Express and Secure Trucking. The question of the morning is, how can we improve the engagement between lawmakers and the general public? And one of the things that came to mind for me was I was reading an article. Thank you to that lovely person. Again, you all don't like people knowing that we know each other, but the lovely person who shared the article, it was Phil Barnett, who is the president of the Island Restaurant Group. It was an article about the restaurant industry facing challenges and what he'd like to see in the budget. But that's a businessman who is looking to engage well with the government to do what's best for an industry that employs people. But I think from a general public perspective, again, I feel like we show up or we get vocal or we appear to show interest in the country in a certain way when there's an election, and then it just falls off. And I think people like Charles H. Jefferson II has said in the audience previously that the House should be streamed. Well, in fairness, I think it's been on radio for years, and I do think audio streams on a news website. But that's another question, along with how can we improve the engagement between lawmakers and the general public? Do you believe that the House and Senate should be visually streamed? Yes or no? Yes or no? Like, I know in the US, is it C-SPAN? C-SPAN, I think you can go on there and see like sittings in Congress and the like. I mean, I don't know who does that. I mean, it seems boring. Now, again, I'm a person who used to listen to the House of Assembly religiously. Like I would tune in like all day. Sometimes I would be there through the night listening. And then something happened. Something happened where I just couldn't take it anymore. And I know that's not good because, as Dexter Smith, the editor of our Royal Gazette, said to me when we first started this show, like I could not take watching this press conferences. The press conferences that Maya was always at, and Dave Burt would say, "Oh, hello, Miss Palacio," that annoying stuff. I couldn't take it. And so I didn't want to watch. And then Dexter Smith said, "No, but you have to. Like, you're hosting this show. Like, you've got to know what's being said, and the like." So maybe one day I'll mature enough to be able to take what happens in the House of Assembly and listen consistently again. Otherwise, I'm going to be relying on smart people like Kenton Trott and Amari Simons and Charles H. Jefferson II and whoever else does that. But again, questions of the morning: how can we improve the engagement between lawmakers and the general public? And yes or no, do you believe that the House and Senate should be visually streamed? Traveling Trotty says yes. Kenton Trott says yes. KJ Matthew says yes. We've got Suzanne Ingham says yes. I think the House should be live streamed. I like to see faces as they talk. Derek Hendrickson says most will say yes, but that stuff is boring. Any ways to make it better for laypersons? I mean, I'm with him. Like, I mean, if you ever watch C-SPAN, it's the most nobody's watching it. I think though, Derek, to answer to challenge that though, I think most people just want to have that option. I think they just want to have that option. Rather they'll tune in every day. I highly doubt. I probably will go on. Probably less than 5% of the American people watch C-SPAN, for instance. I can guarantee you. I mean, that's just me throwing something up, right? Ms. Ellen Kate Horton says yes. She also believes it should be visually streamed. I'm shocked that it's been over 15 years of CITV that they have not made that like a part of a mandate, like government mandates, CITV to stream this. Like they have the channel, right? All right. How can we improve the engagement between lawmakers and the general public? How can we improve engagement between lawmakers and the general public? Kenton Trott says they could have forums specifically discussing upcoming legislation to be tabled. Well, they have town halls, right? So when you say forums, what would be the difference between like town hall meetings and forums? What do you think would be the difference? I'm going to respond to this by saying, let me give a response early. How do I think we can improve engagement between lawmakers and the general public? It's important for politicians, lawmakers, to go into spaces that they don't control. Because as long as they're going into spaces they can control and they're controlling the narrative, I don't think the general public is truly going to get the best. And I know that lawmakers, I mean, it's politics, so they want to make sure that they don't come off looking bad. I'm going to use the former MP, Anthony Richardson. Now, you all may say, well, he lost. Well, I mean, you can't necessarily, when it comes to party politics, someone doesn't necessarily lose because of their own doing. I mean, it could be the leadership and the like. But what he did prior to the election, having that event down in his constituency, and it was him and Amon Gibbons, and it was moderated by John Barrett. That's what I mean, he was vulnerable, but I think that's what the people would want to see. Now, if you're a PLP MP, you're like, oh, heck no, he lost. I'm not doing that. But that's what, I mean, people want that, right? That they want to be able to engage you in spaces where you don't feel like you're above them. Again, I doubt we'll see it, but I think that would be my answer on how to improve engagement. That was excellent in my opinion. Kenton Trott says yes to visually seeing the house streamed, because you'll see how empty it is at times. Oh, I've seen it, man. I've seen it. It's not good. He says, Kenton Trott says, I think I mean specifically about legislation, like that would be the reason for the meeting. I like your idea, Jamal. Okay, got you. So he's saying from specifically about legislation, and there's a lot coming up, right? I mean, there's the healthcare thing that's been discussed, for instance, among other things. But what else, audience? How can we improve engagement between lawmakers and the general public? I'll give another example. We have minimum wage, which the government keeps banging, saying, oh, we created minimum wage. And I still yet to see any data to explain how many Bermudians benefited from the minimum wage. I've still not seen any data to see how many Bermudians even asked for minimum wage. So if we engage the general public, when I say the general public, the electorate, the voting Bermudians, is this something they endorsed, or is this something of benefit for them? Ms. Ellen Kate Horton says they have very few town halls. Well, and not only that, again, the town halls are spaces where they can control the narrative, right? They're spaces where they can control the narrative. They're not having town hall meetings where, okay, there's something controversial. I'll give you an example. The One Bermuda Alliance had a town hall. Was it about the airport or immigration one time? Might have been immigration. I can't remember. But I remember, look, I'm getting old now, but I can't remember exact. So correct me if I'm wrong, audience. I'm pretty sure the folks who showed up didn't even let, was it Michael Fay or Bob Richards, have the town hall, like interrupted them, so on, right? And it didn't really go down. We don't need that. We need engagement. We need, if the premier is tabling some sort of cost of living mandate or thing, then we need to be able to engage with our either our constituency rep, our MP, whether you voted them in or not, and possibly the minister. But how do we go about do that? Like, is it an online thing? Is it town halls like Zoom meetings? What can we do? How do we get there? Because right now we're in a space where we're so disconnected from those who are passing legislation and policies that are supposed to be in our best interests. So what are your thoughts? What do you have, audience? What do you think is the best way to improve engagement with lawmakers? Let's use tourism, for instance. I listened to Dwayne Robinson's maiden speech. And, you know, I mean, I appreciated what he had to say regarding tourism. But I think something that really bothers me about the One Bermuda Alliance, I don't know if it's a secretive thing within the party, right? But they've got to stop. And I don't know if the One Bermuda Alliance does it intentionally. I don't know if you do it intentionally. But let me tell you how the PLP has operated as government and even possibly the union. And I'm saying the union, the BIU, because I'll never forget having Chris Ferbert on my talk show when I was at Bermuda Broadcasting in the summer of August 2011. And someone called up while Mr. Ferbert was on, and they asked about auditing the union's accounts or something. And he must have said, well, what about when the UBP did it? Something like that. Okay. The PLP can use those same lines. I don't like them. I don't. But you can't, perform the same antics or, have the same behaviors. And then when the PLP do it, have an issue. What am I talking about? As I listened to Dwayne Robinson, all I could think about when he was talking about tourism is you guys started this issue and problem. And the way the PLP responds is, as Maya shared yesterday, Jason Haywood, is we didn't need the 6, we don't need the 11. This is why they feel like that, because you guys talk out of both sides of your mouths. You can't say that the BTA was running fine until political involvement. The BTA was never running fine. That's one. Number two, there was political involvement from David Dodwell being appointed to Kevin Dallas being appointed. Let's not act crazy here, right? This is where the engagement has to happen. Because if you talk to people in the general public and they're holding you accountable, things like this don't happen. Meaning you're not going to be talking out of both sides of your mouths because you'll know well enough. Now, if you know well enough and you still talk out of both sides of your mouth, that just means you're a dishonest person. That's it. Let's go back to the audience. How can we improve the engagement between lawmakers and the general public? Michael Daniel says, I believe that small group meetings are better than town hall meetings. So when you say small group meetings, Michael Daniels, what does that look like? What does a small group meeting look like? Because town halls don't really get that many people either, depending on what it is. And that's part of the problem, is like people have a lot to say, but they don't want to go and engage. They don't go and communicate with their MPs or, the ministers and the like. I do like what Glenn Blakeney does on Magic 102.7, where he has these different shows with Minister Tanae Furbet. I believe there are a couple other ministries where they do stuff. And again, I know everyone doesn't listen to the radio, but that's a way of them engaging the public. But what do we want? Come on, folks. We have a lot of concerns here. Whether it's education, it's crime, it's the roads, right? Just look at the state of the Bermuda's roads. That deserves community engagement. Michael Daniels says, the Bermuda College Library put on an example of a small group meeting. Well, what was that example? For those who don't know, no one here knows. Pretend like you're speaking to a stranger who doesn't know. What does a small group meeting look like? What does that entail? Is it moderated? Is it just brainstorming? Is it free fall? Let us know what that looks like. But again, audience, question of the morning is this your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express as well as Secure Trucking. How can we improve the engagement between lawmakers and the general public? How can we improve engagement? Now, we've got a lot of things coming on the pipeline, folks. You just had the throne speech on the back of another throne speech 3 months earlier. We're about to have the budget for 25-26, which I don't think we're all concerned about. For some reason, I don't think people seem concerned about that. We should be. If you read the news, if you're engaged with what's happening in Bermuda, you all check some stories in the business section of the Royal Gazette. It doesn't read. It's not a pretty read. It really isn't. So I hope people are, eyes wide open to what's happening around us. I really, really do. I really, really do. Alrighty. We're going to bring Maya Palacio in for the Daily Hour news break. But thanks again to Titan Express and Secure for, supporting this daily discussion. Folks, in the meantime, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share a conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. The
Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment to you.
All righty. Well, real quickly before we bring Maya in, Michael Daniels explained 4 to 5 people at a table plus a moderator. He said that is a small groups meeting. Okay, got you. And I like that idea. But I think we want to get the general public, more of the electorate in that space. But I appreciate that. Thank you, Michael Daniels. Let's bring Maya Palacio for the Daily Hour.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, MP. How are you?
Pretty good this morning. I'm feeling pretty good. You?
I'm not too bad. Well, you know what? I didn't eat anything yesterday. I just juiced and drank water. And they say when you juice, you're not supposed to work out or do anything. But I did. I actually doubled up yesterday and even this morning went out. And not sure how I feel right now. So I just ate. You saw me stuffing my face before the show, some blueberries, strawberries, and mango. So if I pass out, that's what it is. Yeah, boys,
Okay.
trying to get some new.
Pass out, I guess I'll take over.
Yeah, thank you. See, this is what I was trying to say. You got this. You got this. You still training for Bermuda Day?
I am still training for Bermuda Day. I'm actually feeling a lot more pumped yesterday. I had like a whole realization, like, oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna do it. Like, it can actually like kind of hit me in a way that I didn't really have before. But yeah.
Audience, I want to know from the audience, has anyone in the audience ever participated in the Bermuda Day Marathon? Now, check the language. I said participated. I didn't say run. I didn't say finish. Has anyone ever participated in the Bermuda Day Half Marathon? I'd be interested to know, Maya, because I know so many people over the years who say, I'm going to do, like this guy I worked with.
Mm-hmm.
He was training for it all year. He was going up, like, I guess, work along bay and training on the beach because I guess it's harder to run on the beach than anywhere else. And I remember a couple of days after Bermuda Day, I asked him, hey, man, how'd you do? And he said he finished, by the time he finished, the parade was midway through. And why are you laughing? I'm trying not to laugh.
I mean, that's probably gonna be me. Like, I'm not trying to like feel like I'm gonna be some sort of Speedy Gonzalez out there. Like, it will not be that type of party. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, I was just like, oh, so all that training. I'm not one to judge. I'm not. One, but,
I'm worried because, like, obviously, I'm out here. It's cold. I'm running in the cold. And when I was in Costa Rica and I tried running on the beach, I was fuming. I could barely get 3 miles in. I was like hanging over myself. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Like, this is crazy. So, like, when I get home, I expect to be home for much longer, like maybe a month or so before the actual race. So I'm gonna be putting in that work to see if it's actually feasible, possible.
Is it coming from the east or west this year?
Coming from the east.
Oh, so you ain't got Burnt Hills Hill, but you got Blue Hill, which is just as long, and then that Kroll Hill area after by Francis Patton. But you know what? I'm gonna cheer you all on. I'll be watching via Trevor, and be cheering you all on.
You should be out there with the team. The whole team.
I'm on a 2 miler. I'm a 2 miler. Karen Edwards Simmons says she did a relay in parade. She did the relay.
All right. Yeah, I've done the relay.
Kajay Matthew says it was a really great experience and lots of support from the community along the way. Kathy Rogers says, yes, I ran and finished the half marathon Bermuda race. Very proud moment and accomplishment. Love it. Well, Hadley, she says not. And then Diane Elliott says, yup, did leg 3 and 4 as part of a relay team back in 2016. Wasn't prepared for the humidity as trained early mornings. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I'm got 2 miles in me, folks. 2 miles. I mean, my hip. My hip. I got it. Like, it's my hip.
Anyway.
All right, it's news time. Sorry.
Yes, it is. Okay, well, good morning, everyone. This is your Daily Hour News Break brought to you by the great people at People's Pharmacy. So starting at your newsbreak this morning, around 10:20 p.m. on Tuesday, March the 25th, police received a report of a suspicious activity outside a private residence in the Spanish Point Road area of Pembroke Parish. Upon arrival, officers spoke with an occupant who reported hearing a strange noise outside a bedroom window, and upon going out to determine the source, observed two individuals wearing dark-colored clothing and a black helmet running out of the driveway. So an area search was conducted by officers, and 2 rounds of suspected live ammunition was recovered at the scene. So an investigation to the incident is now underway, and anyone who has any information, particularly residents who may have CCTV footage in that area, is asked to please call the police. You call them at 211 or 295-0011.
I'm confused. Hold on. So they're saying that, help me, audience, and Maya. So the police saying that the activity, there were no gunshots or anything, but there was activity. Someone heard something, and then they found wrong. I'm confused. Help me understand.
Yes, just as you said, someone said they heard very suspicious activity outside of a private residence, and then upon arrivals, the officer spoke with occupants who reported hearing strange noises outside the bedroom window. And then after which they had found live ammunition were recovered at the scene. So no one particularly said to the police that they heard gunshots being fired, but ammunition was still found and recovered at the scene.
I'm just trying to figure out how the ammunition got out of the okay. All right. Yeah, I'm happy no one was injured or anything. Okay.
Indeed. Moving back on to another story which I had recently done. So it's kind of like a sequel, maybe a part 2, but not all fights for legal reform are equal, as we were mentioning before. Some movements gain traction and lead to swift legislative change, while others struggle for even years. Now, we spoke to 2 women who have fought for legal reform in Bermuda: Chardonnay Painter, who successfully pushed for a law criminalizing the Non-Consensual Sharing of Intimate Images Act, and Sophia Cannonier, whose fight for medical freedom continues in the courts. Their experience raises a question, what determines which movement succeeds and which stalls? Here's the whole story.
Chardonnay Painter says timing played a crucial role in her success. She said the most effective strategy is to speak up to the right people in the right rooms with the right message. Her case was deeply personal, and the public outrage over privacy violations helped drive legislative action. She believes laws move faster when there's a clear, urgent need and someone willing to keep pressure on lawmakers. She said that without her advocacy, I don't believe it would have happened anytime soon. That type of cowardly crime has been happening for years, and mine was not an isolated case. I was determined to make that sort of cowardice stop with me and to hold anyone accountable who participated in it. Sophia Cannonier's experience highlighted the challenges some movements face in securing legal change. Her case, which involved medical autonomy and public health regulations, has been met with resistance at multiple levels: government, medical institutions or professionals, and the courts. She and her husband, Michael Watson, were found guilty of breaching COVID-19 pandemic-related laws, a verdict they have since appealed. When asked whether her decision to step into politics was part of a broader advocacy strategy, she responded, yes. She believes leadership and legal reform require resilience, stating, if we were advising someone leading a movement for legal change today, the most important piece of advice we could give, depending on the issue, is to be prepared to face severe adversity, have courage, be intimate and passionate with your cause, and have a strong team of like-minded supporters. Following the guilty verdict in Cannonier and Watson's case, Eugene Dean of the Collective Action Solidarity Trust, or CAS, called for legislative reforms and an independent advisory panel to guide public health decisions. Cannonier says her group continues to push for change and recently drew in international interest, saying, we've been embraced by international practitioners of very high caliber, booked to come to our island to help educate the public and separate fact from fiction. A King's Consul has also shown great interest in our case and is looking to bring his expertise on board. So what determines the pace of change? While both Painter and Cannonier have advocated for legal change, their experiences demonstrate that public perception, political will, and the nature of the issue itself plays a significant role in determining whether reform happens quickly or remains an uphill battle.
I rate both of them. And again, I'm glad you said at the end, the public perception. One thing I'll tell anybody who's fighting a cause, right? Public perception means very little when it's a matter of conscience. You don't need. It doesn't need to be popular to be on the right side of history, as I've said on Twitter X the other day. Chardonnay was risky because she had to put herself out there. You know, she had to put herself out there, and what she did, I don't think people really understand and appreciate in this internet and social media age how big of a issue that was. You know, I think it was necessary, but I think what she did is going to protect generations of young women and men to come. So her fight was definitely took a lot of courage. Sophia Canonera, I liken it to conscription. She's not a popular person. We weren't. I mean, people simply didn't like. They didn't even know Larry Marshall Sr. They didn't like him. They didn't know me, right? All they saw was angry black men, right? With Sophia, they think she's crazy. They think she's weird. They call her all sorts of names. Truth is, many people who call her these names and feel that way wouldn't be able to survive a day in her shoes. Just because you may not agree with her doesn't mean you're not benefiting from the fight that she's fighting. She's literally, as Sumner said on Twitter X, standing up against the very people most Bermudians lay down to. And sometimes this is another truth, Maya. Sometimes we really, truly don't know that what someone else is fighting for benefits us too. I'll leave it at that.
Just a commentary to add on to that story there. Well, in other news, Teo did mention yesterday the 60th anniversary of the art shows for our primary schools levels at the City Hall. And I just want to highlight them even more with the recent Corporation of St. George's hosting the Bermuda UNESCO World Poetry Day 2025 at the King Square with students from the schools of St. George's Prep, East End Primary, Francis Patton Primary, and St. David's Primary, performing original poems inspired by the year's theme, A Treasure for Tomorrow. So, not to be biased, but East End Primary definitely did show out those who were there, definitely saw the incredible performance. And I'm going to display 60 seconds of that video here for you today on this show.
Afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, the East End Primary School Music Club will be performing a dove poem titled The East is Where You Want to Be, written by Miss Gail Palacio and directed by Miss Tamika Allen. Enjoy.
It will be fun! It will be a blast! Put your head and arms, let's keep the stops. And as you look towards the rocks, take in the vastness of the sea. Imagine the way life used to be. Tall ships that sail the ocean blue, filled with goods and people too. Hordes and buggies line the roads, scared by lizards, crabs and toads. Gossiping women would get dumped. Unruly men would get drunk. Children ran about the street, some in cheers, some in bare feet. St. Peter's Church above the hill. Many people visit there still. Each Sunday the church, loud and you can hear songs the choir sing. Holy, 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 the finished church, the perfumery of places for visitors to see. And tobacco vape and hear what the locals have to say. Where is St. George's? Visit King Square. The onion drops brings in the new year.
That was probably the best thing I've seen all week. I loved it. I loved it. I was thinking while I was watching it, I'm like, man, I really had no skill because I could not perform that at 20, let alone that young age. That was awesome. Indeed, Kathy Rogers. Well done, East End Primary. Maya, did you adopt any of, I think they said it was written by Gail Palacio. Did you adopt any of that poetry?
You know, I write my scripts, right, for all my newspaper.
Oh, I was trying to take a shot. Didn't quite work out.
But I used to do a lot of poetry though. In primary and middle school, I really did. I had a whole poetry book. I still sometimes do it recently. Actually, Bermuda is loves doing some sort of poetry seminar on the 30th, and I actually signed up for that.
You know,
Like something like that.
you know, I should do I haven't done a poem since the election, huh?
No, you haven't, Mister. This is my new niche.
Yeah, that I don't think I'm got it like that, man. I think I'm about one in me a year. One in me a year.
All right, all right. But yeah, that was you said primary. The ending. If you were there, you know what happens at the end, and it was pretty spectacular. So if you,
Yeah,
it was pretty awesome.
indeed, indeed. All right, what else we got?
All right, so the vibes actually at Dawn St. George's have not stopped, and they will definitely continue because this week, Saturday, March 29th, two well-known St. George's businesses will be celebrating their grand opening in a new space. So long story short, by Kristen White, a tour and company retail store owned by her, and also Frequency Cafe and Hub owned by Lisa Camille, have both relocated to a building called the Arcades. I was trying to find a good enough picture visual to show you guys exactly where it is, but they did have some descriptions about it. So basically, it's located on the western end of the Water Street and accessible from Duke of York Street, as well as houses Lacquered Lounge, the East End Variety, and St. George's Dance Studio. So what's also going to be happening on that day where they're having their grand opening is a vibrant celebration of women's history, culture, and entrepreneurship at the Herstory Women's History Festival. So Saturday, March 29th, that's Lacquered Lounge right there, a visual kind of show where it would be. March 29th, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the Water Streets in St. George's. Now, this event's pretty huge because it has so many like activities going on. Just so you can see there on the screen. I know it's a little hard to read the smaller descriptions, but to give you an example, it's a free, family-friendly community event with a day filled with storytelling, entertainment, historical site visits, and showcase of female entrepreneurs. So it's a grand opening. The High Tide Tattoo will also be open for walk-ins with special Women's History Month tattoo designs available. Pop up into surprise scrapbooking boutique, Lacquer Lounge open house as well. Unsettled free meals and visitor insights, free entry to the Mitchell House, free entry to the Go Museum. It's just going to be a lot of things going on, even some special deals with some of the restaurants in St. George's. So March the 29th, this Saturday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Something to definitely do.
All righty. How's the weather looking?
The weather for today, excuse my lateness on, let me check it out. So the weather for today is looking like it's going to be some showers, unfortunately, moving around the area, but skies should be brightening a little bit in the afternoon, and we have a high of 68, so a little bit lower than normal. Probably going to feel a bit of breeze, but hopefully we still get some sun.
All righty. Today is World Theater Day. World Theater Day. So that means, folks, who doesn't like a good theater? Have you been to a play, and what's your favorite theater performance you've ever been to? Maya, what's your favorite?
My favorite theater performance I've ever been to. I haven't been to one in such a long time. I am more of a concert person. I love a string ensemble, a live quartet.
Mhm.
But I'd probably say in life, there was probably the ballet, if I'm being honest. Not really theater, but sort of. But yeah, it
We
was the
went to
ballet.
one last year.
You talking about Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah, that's theater.
I mean, it's entertainment. They're jumping around. But
That's
I
theater.
mean, yeah, the show is theater. It's theater. They're telling a story, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. I would say no, I was just saying you said you ain't been one to a long time. I would say probably Motown, Pretty Woman was pretty good. Living in New York, there was so many choices, like Broadway shows. But I'm gonna say Motown because I related to it so well. That was probably the best one. I hadn't seen like Aladdin. I went to Aladdin like the Broadway show, but I hadn't seen it before, so I didn't even know what like to expect. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Motown. What we got? We've got Marquita Lee says MJ on Broadway. MJ on Broadway. We've got Karen Edward Simmons says last weekend went to see Hamilton and MJ before Color Purple, Lion King, and Phantom of the Opera. Okay. Lion King on 42nd Street says Mark. Okay. Lion King and Color Purple says Michelle Doors. Okay. All right. I haven't seen Lion King or Color Purple.
I've seen Lion King. I don't think I could do Color Purple again. Like some things I'll read or watch once and I'll talk about it again, but it's hard, like especially for Color Girls. Oh my dear. That's a
Well,
long time.
I just saw Lion King the movie for the first time in November, so I hadn't,
The animation one? The animated one?
yeah, I never saw it before. Remember, I was coming back from Kenya. I didn't know what everybody was talking about while we on the
Right,
safari.
because you didn't really know all the animals.
Yeah, you're talking about a meerkat and all this stuff. What the heck? Anyway, we're not going to trash on Jamal. We've got a very important guest coming up. Maya, you have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right, my Palacio folks. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after this break. We've got Azuree Williams coming up from Bermuda Cancer and Health. We're talking Relay for Life. Stick with us, folks.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BEDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses. Whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment, we provide 100% guarantee on approved loans. Simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Bermuda heat is no joke. Is your AC ready for summer? A quick tune-up now can keep you cool, save energy, and prevent costly breakdowns later. Call 2920881 or book your service online at bac.bm.
Join us as we celebrate 5 years and 1,000 plus episodes of community conversations on Bermuda's daily talk show. The Daily Hour Gala takes place on April 26th at LF Wade International Airport. For more information and advance tickets, please send an email to admin@bermudacommunications.com. We look forward to celebrating all that's great about our community with all of you.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Wells, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Without further ado, let's bring our guest for the day. Very special guest. We've got Azuree Williams. It's been a while coming on from Bermuda Cancer and Health. We're talking about Relay for Life, folks. Give everyone TDH welcome. Hello. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thanks.
Well, first off, thanks for your patience. I mean, Maya talks a lot. She just goes.
Maya, right?
I maybe I started, but I gotta ask you before we jump into the serious conversation. It's World Theater Day. Do you have like a favorite theater show that you've seen?
That's very difficult. It's not a fair question. Both of my older two children have starred in productions here in Bermuda with Gilbert and Sullivan. My son did Animal Farm, which was brilliant. My daughter did South Pacific. That was brilliant as well. And then Troika, of course, Serafina. I mean, we have so much talent locally. I would definitely say some of the best I've seen have been right here in Bermuda.
You know what? And honestly, you and my cousin Nicole, Troika, Bermuda, Serafina, amazing. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Goosebumps.
The best. I'm saying I've been seeing some shows on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
This is no disrespect to Bermuda and Bermudians, but I had not seen a show since I was young with my nana. When I saw that, I was just like, wow.
Blown away.
Yeah. So absolutely. And thank you for saying that. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you for saying it. Hey, it's fair. We are the best. We're just because we're small doesn't mean we can't be the best at what we do. So
We have a lot of talent.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, and again, thank you for your patience. But this is a very important conversation, as mentioned earlier. Just this week, I've been told of 3 cancer diagnoses, Bermudians, and it's not something that I think our community has come to terms with. And so conversations like this, and I hope the audience really, really engages in this, because I think collectively, we spoke about collectiveness yesterday when it comes to causes. This is something collectively that we need to tackle. But starting off, just explain why was the Relay for Life created as a part of Bermuda Cancer and Health's initiatives to, I guess, educate people?
Well, first and foremost, it is a global initiative. It's not just a Bermudian thing. We were the 25th country, I believe, to join the relay movement in 2014. And it was initially started in 1984 with Dr. Gordy Klatt, who was an American Cancer Society volunteer. And American Cancer Society is actually the partner. We have partnered with them and all of the other global partners that exist today. But Bermuda primarily joined the movement, particularly because of the need for a radiation therapy unit. So Relay for Life is actually Bermuda Cancer and Health Center's largest fundraiser. The radiation unit received over roughly $2.2 million from the first few years of Relay for Life in order for us to open the radiation therapy unit in 2017. So it was primarily making sure that we were able to offer a service to our community rather than people having to hop on a plane, go overseas, be away from work, be away from their loved ones for extended periods of time. Whereas here in Bermuda, you can receive radiation therapy and then you can go back to work, or you can go home and spend time with your loved ones while you're in recovery. It's no longer having to travel that distance.
Yeah. And in saying that, I know Relay for Life around the world is held at different times of the year. Why was May such an important time to have it for you guys?
Well, one, the founder of Bermuda's Relay for Life, Ron Spencer III, his mom passed in May. So this is definitely something that's near and dear and special to him. He introduced it to Bermuda and specifically brought it to Bermuda Cancer and Health Center. And also just the timing for the weather. May weather is usually the best time of the year. And then also looking at our corporate sponsors and corporate partners, May is usually the best time for them to have the support and not be, I mean, they're always busy with their calendar year, but it's definitely the most ideal time weather-wise and also scheduling-wise for most of the people in the community that support us.
Indeed. What is Bermuda Cancer and Health hoping to achieve with this year's event?
A lot. We, in the past, our goal is usually $700,000 gross that we like to raise. And this gives us the opportunity to continue to top up our Equal Access Fund. The Equal Access Fund is so important to the community at large because so many people, as you mentioned earlier on, are being diagnosed consistently. We have diagnoses every single day. People are being diagnosed here in Bermuda. And 95% of cases that are diagnosed, if they require radiation therapy, they're able to receive that treatment at Bermuda Cancer and Health Center. And a lot of people cannot afford it. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars for radiation treatment. So the Equal Access Fund enables us to provide that care to patients who just wouldn't be able to afford it and probably wouldn't even bother to engage in treatment because they feel they don't have the savings, they don't have the insurance, or they have insufficient insurance. So because of the Equal Access Fund, we're able to provide that service consistently to our community. And so we aim every single year to raise that $700,000 so that we can continue to provide equal access to all patients who are diagnosed with cancer and need radiation therapy.
Indeed. And audience, if you have any questions or comments for Ms. Williams, please send them through. We'll get through as many as possible. Can you break down how the Relay for Life event actually works? And I don't mean to be funny, but people just don't. I'm not going to call anyone out.
They don't know, right?
Yeah.
So, so as project lead and project manager and event lead, I've been integrally involved in Relay for Life, one as a staff member working for Bermuda Cancer and Health Center, but also those of us who sit on the committee, every year we're volunteering our time and we're working outside of our normal business hours. A lot of the times we're working evenings, behind the scenes, planning the event. It takes approximately 9 months. We have subcommittees, so shout out to our committee who is definitely committed and dedicated to ensuring the success of this year's event. But we ask for teams to register at bermudarelay.bm. They basically have to sign up at least 10 to 15 people per team because it's a relay event. And what we mean by relay is that no, you're not physically passing a baton and racing against the clock, but cancer never sleeps. So typically we have a 24-hour event. We've toned it down a bit and gone to 18 hours, and we ask that someone is walking the track every hour during the event, like a relay. So one person does one shift and then they pass it on to the next person, and it just continues. We're not hard and fast with the rule that someone has to be on the track every hour, every minute. It's just a reminder that cancer never sleeps, and that's why we ask for people to be consistently walking throughout the entire 18 hours. It's a fundraiser. People set up their pop-up tents all around the track at the North Field. They're raising funds through fun games, different activities, selling food. It's very interactive and engaging. It's supportive. We have 3 key ceremonies where we're celebrating survivors in the beginning. Survivors kick off the first lap. Everyone else is cheering them on, rooting for them. The gumbays usually lead them around the track. It's a very vibrant and fun atmosphere. But then we get a little more solemn and poignant and reverent during the Luminaria ceremony, which takes place on the Friday night. And that's the ceremony where we remember our loved ones lost and the ones who are going through cancer. Shout out to Liberty Mutual Insurance Bermuda. They are our presenting sponsor. And then Sun Life this year is on board again as our Luminaria sponsor. And we have CG Insurance, who is our platinum sponsor again this year. These companies have consistently supported us. So we have corporate teams, we have community teams. It's really, it has that carnival type atmosphere, not carnival as in carnival weekend, but carnival if you've ever been to a carnival fair in the US and in Europe and other countries, where it's lots of games, lots of different types of food to try, but it's all people raising funds to benefit the community through the Equal Access Fund. And it benefits the global community because 3% of our funds go to cancer initiatives that are happening globally, hosted by the American Cancer Society, where they're building hostels for patients in Kenya who are in cancer treatment, and they have such a long journey to walk to and from the hospital for treatment. And instead of them sleeping on the cold streets or the Cole Park benches, they now have a hostel in Kenya specifically for them to sleep and recover after they have cancer treatment. So it's a lot to see and do. The ceremonies, the entertainment. We have so many people who join us to put on a vibrant atmosphere for folks to partake in. Teams get dressed up in character. They create their own theme. They decorate their campsites. I mean, it's really an amazing, spectacular event. And I'm not saying this because I've been involved for the last, this is year 12, and I've been constantly engaged and involved for the last 8 years. But cancer has touched and impacted everyone in this community in some shape, form, or fashion. Whether you're a survivor, whether you're a caregiver, whether you have a loved one who was diagnosed or a coworker. I mean, it's like you said, 3 people this week. For me, it's consistently the people that I'm engaging with and interacting with our community outreach, and also my own loved ones who are diagnosed and have been diagnosed year after year after year before I started working at Bermuda Cancer and Health Center. So our family has been impacted by cancer for decades now, unfortunately. And me, I'm all about advocacy. That's also part of what Relay for Life is about. We have educational banners all around the field to give people those extra tips on how they can reduce their cancer risk. It's also an opportunity for people who are survivors and caregivers to connect with other families and community members who can inspire and support them, not to feel alone in the journey. It's emotional. The Luminaria ceremony, I must highlight, we have had issues where a lot of the young people are being dropped off, middle schoolers in particularly, and they don't have supervision. So they're not aware of the reverence and respect they need to have during the Luminaria ceremony, because it's a moment of silence where we are remembering our loved ones lost. So some people are very emotional. They're in tears. They're honoring their loved ones because we have these little Luminaria bags that light up the track at night during the Luminaria ceremony. It's very beautiful, but it's also a time for us to be gentle and considerate of other people. And so many of our young people don't have that awareness. They don't realize what's going on. So we do ask for the team captains, the parents, to make sure that you are encouraging the young people to be reverent, to be respectful, to be silent. And when the lights go out, don't scream. It's okay. Make sure your children.
I just want to touch the audience because I want to make sure that they're engaged. But I want to know from the audience, has anyone in the audience ever participated in the Relay for Life? Just let us know, yes or no. Have you participated? And just get an idea of your experience in participating. And if you haven't, this is an opportunity because Azuree, as you know, I can only imagine you probably are still looking for people to participate and register as well as volunteers. So how can people who are interested in participating and putting together a team, how can they go about registering? And let's talk volunteerism as well. On the back of that is how many volunteers are you in need of, and how are the numbers looking?
So volunteerism is crucial. Without volunteers, this event really can't happen. The team captains, they're volunteering their time to gather their team members, register everybody, register their team, create their fundraiser, decorate their campsites. All of that is the success of the event depends on how many teams sign up. We're looking for 100 teams minimum, 10 to 15 people a team. Then we're also looking for volunteers. It takes a minimum of 100 volunteers to successfully run an event like this. This event is huge, the magnitude and the impact that it has on the community. So we definitely heavily rely on volunteers. We are not there yet. We're not even halfway there to 100, but we need at least 100 volunteers. Folks can go to our website, bermudarelay.bm, and make sure they sign up, get involved, hit the Get Involved tab at the top of the page if you want to volunteer, sign up as a caregiver, sign up as a survivor, Survivor and caregiver registrations are free. There's no charge for that. But if you are on a team or trying to be on a team, that does have a cost to that registration. If you want to be a participant and have the benefits of what our participant receives, we have a special treat for the survivors this year. We have a couple of sponsors who are providing massage specifically for the survivors. We have Off Grid RV. She's sponsoring a place for the survivors to be. So shout out to her. Shout out to Balance, Queen Treatment, and Healthy Living Nutrition. Those are all partners are all going to be involved, and they've collaborated to make sure that we are putting on something special and yeah, for our survivors. And anyone who wants to get involved, go to bermudarelay.bm. All the information's there, how to reach us, all of the emails, they're there. Folks can email me, eventchair@bermudarelay.bm, if they want more information.
All right. I'm happy to see we've got quite a few people: Marquita Lee, Suzanne Ingham, Lorna Miners, and Karen Edwards Simmons. She's a captain who have
active team captain. Karen is.
There you go. Team captain.
She's at every meeting. Shout out to all those captains that come out and they do their thing. They whip their teams into shape. I mean, it can be a lot of work, but the team captains, they get it done. They get it done and they deliver. And we are so eternally grateful to all those team captains, all the volunteers, all the participants, and all of our sponsors, everyone who comes together for this community event to make it special, to make it happen. And it provides a safe space for families to connect with others and support each other in the cancer journey, because it's not always easy. And, you know, sometimes you need a laugh, you need to have fun, you need to also cry and let it all out. And you get all of that at Relay for Life. It's such an amazing event. If folks have not been, there's general admission. If you're not on a team, no big deal. You just can pay at the gate, or we will be opening up on PTIX closer to the event. So folks can have their digital ticket if they don't want to bring cash to the event. But we do encourage people to bring their credit cards, bring cash, because it's a fundraiser. And we want you to visit all the team campsites and, you know, support their fundraiser, because it gets us closer and closer to our goal of $700,000, so we can continue to support the community through our Equal Access Fund.
Just remind people before you head out why this event is necessary in our community.
So just as I mentioned, the support, the cancer journey can be like none other for some people. Some people are such fierce champions and warriors. I've met so many survivors and caregivers who just championing for the cause, advocacy, the whole nine. And then there are other people who are so emotionally overwhelmed with the cancer diagnosis. They don't know what to do. They feel alone. They don't know who to talk to. A lot of people are in financial disrepair, and they can't afford to have cancer treatment. So this event checks all of those boxes. It gives people an opportunity to connect, to support each other, to embrace each other, to encourage each other. And it also gives us the opportunity to raise funds to support those people who are in financial need and need the cancer treatment and services that we offer and provide. So it's a no-brainer. If you have not been touched by cancer, more than likely you will in your lifetime. Unfortunately, 1 in 5 people will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. However, almost 50% of cancer cases are preventable, and that's through the education, the awareness of what the prevention measures are, which I'm constantly out there hitting the pavement, talking about and sharing through our free education programs that we have at Bermuda Cancer and Health Center. But when it comes to this event, it's like none other. There's something for everyone, from children all the way up to seniors. It's an opportunity to come together and make a difference and have an impact on our community.
Indeed, Azuree, thank you so much for this conversation. And audience, Join Karen Edward Simmons and the many other captains. Get involved. Reach out. We'll see you at the Relay for Life, Azuree.
They can join also for the next team captain meeting. It's the final meeting, April 16th at AXA XL on Bermudiana Road, starting at 5:30. It's a lot going to be happening because it's the final meeting. So people need to make sure they're checking their emails. Our team development, they are on it, making sure they're communicating with captains, check their spam. We want to make sure that everyone stays in touch, and we look forward to seeing people on May 9th and 10th at the North Field.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Azuree Williams from Bermuda Cancer and Health Center, folks. Relay for Life. Go check it out. Don't forget that meeting, April 16th at AXA XL. That's on Bermudiana Road. Go to their website, check them out, get as much information as possible, or reach out to someone in the audience, like a Karen Edward Simmons, who is a team captain, and see if you can get involved there. We're going to take a final break. Come back. We've got the daily play, and we'll wrap it up in about 1 minute, 55 seconds. Stick with us.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Nova's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Join us as we celebrate 5 years and 1,000 plus episodes of community conversations on Bermuda's daily talk show. The Daily Hour Gala takes place on April 26th at LF Wade International Airport. For more information and advance tickets, please send an email to admin@bermudacommunications.com. We look forward to celebrating all that's great about our community with all of you.
Did you know 3 out of 4 people say that they have a good understanding of life insurance? But do they really? When asked how much the yearly cost would be for a 20-year, $250,000 level term life insurance policy for a healthy 30-year-old, 80% overestimated the cost by 5 times the amount. Ready for this? The true cost for that policy is about $220 a year. That's as little as 66 cents a day, or $20 a month. So let's put this into perspective. Compared to other monthly costs, isn't getting life insurance a no-brainer? If you can trim back on some of these expenses just a little bit, it will allow you to dedicate the savings toward an affordable life insurance policy. Contact one of our life insurance agents today to find the right policy for you.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Thanks again to Azuree Williams and Bermuda Cancer and Health. The work they're doing is so important for our community, folks. If you appreciated the conversation, the education, the information, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues, regardless of what platform you're on. It is appreciated. We need to ensure that as many people as possible benefit from the important information that is shared on this platform. All right. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can do this with you on a daily basis. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at various stores throughout Bermuda. That's People's Pharmacy, that's Bermuda Bookstore, that's Caesar's Pharmacy, that's Brown & Co., that's Phoenix. It's available at many places. No excuse not to have one edition of Bermuda Trivia. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, it's a name that plays today, folks. Let's see who gets this. All right, what country has more lakes than the rest of the world combined? NTS, you got it. It is Canada. Canada, 60% of the world's lakes are found in Canada. Now, Auntie Karen, we said country, not continent. I hope I said country. USA, no, it's not USA, Julie. It is Canada, as Suzanne Ingham and NTS said. Canada, approximately, as I stated, 60% of the world's lakes are found in Canada. All righty, let's wrap it up so I can let you all go about your way. But folks, if you haven't already, if you're going to be in Bermuda on April 26th, you want to make sure you get your tickets. There are a limited amount of tickets available, or left, I should say, for our gala. It's going to be an incredible event. I'm not going to share too many details, but I'm just going to show a lot of love to Bermuda Press Holdings, the Royal Gazette, our colleagues at Bermuda Broadcasting, Inter-Island Communications, TNN Travel Lindsay. There's going to be a night of collaborative engagement from your media platforms. So you want to ensure that you are part of this. You don't want to miss it. That said, regarding the discussion this morning, look, we have to improve the way we engage with our legislators and lawmakers. Some of it's going to be on us, and we need to figure out how we would like to best engage with them. Is it platforms like this, or is it, you know what, I want my constituency to have a weekly clinic that no one shows up to? Is it quarterly meetings? We need to figure out what is in the best interest of Bermuda and the greater community. That's going to be on all of us, not just the politician, but us as well. Are we going to make time for it? Or do we have, social lives that are, don't allow us the time to do that? As far as the conversation with Azuree Williams, look, at the end of the day, the reality is that they are trying to raise money to help our community. Hopefully, if you're able, you can participate or volunteer or donate, somehow just help with the Relay for Life. As she stated, 1 in 5 people will be diagnosed, and they do help a lot of people, giving people information as to how to prevent it. Whatever you're able to do, whether it's time, money, energy, it's appreciated. So please reach out if you're able. All right. I've got a daily inspiration for you before I send you on your way. And this is from Alice Walker. She's a poet, writer, educator, and womanist. Is a womanist the same as a feminist? Anyway, she's the author of The Color Purple. And World the other day, we were talking about The Color Purple play. All right. Quote is, "No person is your friend who demands your silence or denies you your right to grow." End quote. That's from Alice Walker, folks. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.